The 2026 Yamaha DT 125 isn't just another bike. It's the resurrection of a legend. For decades, the DT series has lived in the hearts of riders who love simplicity, dual sport capability, and unfiltered riding joy. In 2026, Yamaha brings the DT 125 back with a focus on authenticity, reliability, and versatile performance. This machine isn't about flashy electronics or intimidating power figures. It's about raw fun, ease of use, and adventure in its purest form. On Bike Review Hub today, we explore the new 2026 Yamaha DT 125 from every angle. Design, performance, ride quality, capability, and why it stands out in a world of over-engineered motorcycles. A storied heritage reborn. The Yamaha DT nameplate evokes nostalgia. For riders who grew up in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, the original DT models were synonymous with rugged simplicity. Bikes that could tackle gravel paths, forest tracks, back roads, and city streets with equal aplomb. They were light, easy to maintain, and fun to ride. Fast forward to 2026, and Yamaha has returned to that philosophy while applying modern refinement where it matters most. The DT 125's revival isn't a retro gimmick, It's a thoughtful reimagining that respects its past while delivering a genuinely usable bike for today's riders. Design that balances classic and contemporary. The 2026 Yamaha DT 125 walks a fine line between heritage and modern function. At a glance, it looks familiar. A lean, purposeful silhouette with high-mounted fender, upright stance, and classic dual sport proportions, yet the details reveal subtle contemporary cues, refined plastics, updated lighting elements, and modern ergonomics that make it feel intentional rather than dated. The fuel tank shape, side panels, and seat line pay homage to classic DTs, but the overall execution feels clean, purposeful, and ready for real riding. It's a bike that doesn't shout about technology, instead it whispers capability. Engine character. Simple, smooth, and rewarding. Under the tank sits an engine that embodies the DT 125's philosophy: uncomplicated, reliable, and fun. The 2026 Yamaha DT 125 features a lightweight single-cylinder power plant designed for smooth torque across a usable range. It's not about peak horsepower. It's about usable power at low and mid RPMs where riders spend most of their time, especially off-road and in urban traffic. The engine pulls smoothly, rewarding throttle input with confidence and predictability. It hums with a character that's easy to live with. Not harsh, not abrupt, but engaging. Cruising at legal highway speeds isn't a challenge, and twisty gravel tracks feel alive with feedback. This engine isn't intimidating, it's inviting. Transmission and rider engagement. Paired to the engine is a simple, reliable gearbox that complements the DT 125's spirit. The clutch action is light and responsive, ideal for new riders and seasoned riders alike. Gear changes are positive and intuitive, with a natural feel that encourages learning and confidence. It's a transmission that doesn't demand perfection. It rewards rhythm and flow. For riders who love the sensation of riding and not just traveling, this gearbox helps create a connection between machine and rider that modern electronics can't replicate. Ride comfort and ergonomics. Built for days in the saddle. One of the DT 125's strongest traits is its ride comfort. The upright riding position, wide handlebars, and simple seat design combine to create a posture that's surprisingly comfortable for long distances. The seat supports the rider well without feeling overly plush. It's just right for a day of varied riding. Ground clearance feels generous for a 125, giving the bike confidence when the road ends and the dirt begins. Suspension travel is calibrated to absorb small bumps and broken surfaces without punishing the rider. It's not an extreme trail bike, but it's more capable than most scooters and far more engaging than typical commuter bikes. Dual sport capability. Ready for roads and trail. The heart of the DT 125's charm lies in its dual sport capability. This bike isn't designed to conquer mountains, but it invites exploration. Gravel paths, fire roads, farm trails, and uneven park roads. The DT 125 handles them all with composure. Its lightweight chassis and balanced geometry make it easy to steer over rocks, roots, and rough patches that would unsettle heavier machines. On pavement, the DT 125 feels agile and confident. Cornering is natural, throttle response is smooth, and feedback through the chassis helps the rider anticipate traction changes. It doesn't feel like a compromise, it feels like freedom. Suspension and wheel. Confidence across terrain. The suspension setup on the 2026 DT 125 is tuned for a broad range of conditions. Front forks and rear shocks soak up bumps with a forgiving quality, giving confidence when the terrain gets unpredictable. It's not over-damped or stiff. It's tuned for real-world comfort and control. Spoked wheels with dual-purpose tires strike a balance between off-road grip and paved road stability. Cornering on gravel feels steady, while pavement traction remains reassuring. It's a setup that doesn't demand perfection but rewards awareness and engagement. Braking and rider control. Braking performance on the DT 125 is predictable and forgiving. The front and rear brakes provide confident stopping power without harshness. ABS may not be the star of the show here, depending on market spec, but the brake feel is consistent and intuitive. This is a machine that lets the rider modulate effectively, not by overwhelming with electronics, but by delivering honest feedback and control. Technology true, simple, and purposeful. The 2026 Yamaha DT 125 doesn't come loaded with screens and riding modes. Instead, its technology is purposeful, a clear, no-nonsense instrument cluster that provides essential information, reliable lighting for day and night, and components built to last with minimal fuss. In a world where gadgets are everywhere, the DT 125 chooses simplicity, and for many riders, that's exactly the point. Who the DT 125 is for. The 2026 Yamaha DT 125 appeals to a broad audience. It's perfect for new riders craving an approachable, confidence-inspiring machine. It's ideal for commuters who want something reliable, light, and efficient. It draws adventure seekers who want the option to explore off-pavement without committing to a heavier dual sport bike. It even appeals to seasoned riders who just want a fun, simple bike to ride for joy. The kind of machine that makes every ride feel like an adventure, no matter the distance. Everyday practicality and reliability. Honda and Yamaha have long built bikes that just work, and the DT 125 continues this tradition. Fuel efficiency is excellent, maintenance is straightforward, and parts availability remains strong. It's a bike that's easy to live with. Another reason it becomes not just a ride, but a companion. Whether riding to work, exploring weekend trails, or discovering scenic back roads, the DT 125 makes every journey feel effortless. Final verdict. A classic reborn for today. The 2026 Yamaha DT 125 is more than a nostalgic return. It's a fully realized modern dual sport machine built for fun, functionality, and freedom. It combines simplicity with versatility, comfort with capability, and heritage with practicality. For riders who want a bike that feels alive, engaging, and ready for anything. From pavement to dirt, from commute to adventure, the DT 125 delivers. It doesn't overcomplicate, it doesn't overwhelm. It just rides, and it rides beautifully. This was the complete dual sport revival story from Bike Review Hub, where real motorcycles meet real riders.